How's it going, YouTube? This is a deck profile of Macrocosm of a macro deck. So without further ado, let us start this. Let me get it set up. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Run 3 Macrocosmos. Pretty much essential to any macro deck. If you don't run Macrocosmos, you're not gonna be screwed, but it's just gonna be hard for you to do stuff with. 2 Bottomless. I think that's a perfect staple, and I think everybody should run at least one. I know some people who don't, but that's their decision. 1 Defrizz. Only Defrizz is pretty much a shield. It's pretty staple. If you don't know what these cards do, you haven't been playing long enough, or you're just totally dumbfounded by these cards. 2 Dark Bride, staple once again. 1 Mirror Force, like I said, just staple. 2 Pot. This deck does special summon quite a lot, but Pot just seems to help. 2 MSTs. I would like to run 3, but there's not enough room. 2 Gold Sark. This card is pretty cool. It banishes whatever I want, and I get it 2 turns later. 2 Deep Fissure. Only reason why I don't run 3 is because if you run 3 Deep Fissure, you gotta run 2 Macro, because it balances out. Besides, I draw this card more than Macro though, so I like how it wasn't even on the screen for that. 1 Card Destruction. Pretty much, if you have this card in hand first turn, you win the game, because pretty much your opponent's starting hand is pretty good. 1 Rhoda, to search out warriors, obviously. Lower Darkness. I like this card a lot. This card is really good. 1 Heavy Storm. Just a staple, really. Dark Hole, again, pretty good staple. The reason why I'm not running Monster Reborn, even though Graveyard can happen, is because it's too slow and it's situational. So, because one duel, your opponent will be running 3 MSTs, and the next duel he won't. But without further ado, let us get to the monsters. 3 DD Warrior Lady. I run 3 because 3 is really good, and it's basically a warrior, a DD warrior, except you can choose whether or not you send things to grave. 3 Morphin Jar 2. I like Morphin Jar 2. People say that the card has to go to grave, but it doesn't, because it's not a cost. So therefore, Morphin Jar 2 is officially broken. See, if I had Fiber Jar, this deck would be a lot more broken. 3 Survivor. 3 Survivor is pretty much a good staple in this deck. It's a 1800 beast stick that pretty much doesn't die. 2 Spirit Reaper. Only reason why I'm not running a third one is because I don't have a third one. This deck isn't really complete as of yet, but right now this is the best thing we got. 1 Necroface. An essential staple to the macro deck. I'm sorry if there's a glare right there, but I'm just going to keep it like this so there's not much of a glare. 2 Hyro. I love Hyro. Hyro can deck people out really fast. Only reason why I don't want to run a third one is because really he's like Monster Reborn. He's sort of situational, because there's times where your opponent will be drawing 2 or 3 spell cards, and then again your opponent could just draw all 3 monsters or traps. So, like I said, situational. 3 Scalpline. I love this card. I really do. Again, kind of like Survivor, except it doesn't die. 1 Morphin Jar. Like I said, it's sort of kind of like card destruction. If you set this card on your first turn, and you set up like the way you want to, this deck can be pretty devastating. So, 2 Needleworm. I'm looking for a third one, but right now 2's the best I got, and yeah. don't really need to explain what he does. And last but not least, 3 Marshmallow. I run 3. The only reason why I run 3 is because it's a really good stopper, and it's not as dead as Spirit Reaper, because Spirit Reaper could die pretty easy. And the next is my extra. I run 1 Gotchi Gotchi. Oh, whoops, sorry. I run 1 Gotchi Gotchi. The only reason why I run 1 is because Gotchi Gotchi is like really good. But I only run 1 just because he's again situational. 2 Leviathan. See, if I had a choice, these would be Lava Gears, but they're not. So 1 Zenmaines. Again, everybody should know what a Zenmaines does. Popular Operative. This card is really good. You target a monster or one of your monsters, and you flip the face up, and it loses 600 attack, which can also be a good combo for the next card I'm about to show up. Zenmeister. Zenmeister is amazing because you can just abuse this card all day. It really does. Plus, it's a 2500 V-Stick when you need it. 1 Pearl. Why would you not run a Pearl? It runs over Utopia and it runs over Stardust. So, yeah. Utopia. Utopia is pretty good too, because I only bring this card out if I need to. 1 Librarian, even though I don't run any tuners, just cause it's in there. And Stardust, because I sided to Starlight Road, and this will be a good bonus. Now for the side deck. 1 Starlight Road, as I said. Pretty much if your opponent activates Time of Storm or Dark Hole, I just go flip, special summon Stardust. I plus wand off you. Two Needle Ceiling. Only to kick windups in the face. Smashing Ground. Because it's a pretty good card and it destroys the monster with the highest defense on your opponent's side of the field. DDR to bring back Necroface, and if I have Necroface in hand, I discard it and then bring it back, because you can do that. That Lock and Magic. Only reason why I won this is because if my opponent, if I have D-Fissure. Mind Pluin, pretty much the mind or brain control of the game. That is now effective in my final MST. Like I said, I don't have a room, but I can still side it. Probably either side out a Dark Bribe or something like that. And that's pretty much the deck. If you like it, you can make it yourself on the end if you want. That's what I did. And hope you rate, comment, subscribe, and then this is LOG A7X Disturbed signing out.